Yep. Hey Chris, what's up? Akio, Pine, what going, Uncle? Gabriel, what's up? What's up? Emil, what going? So as you guys know, it's Freedom Wednesdays tonight. So we're just giving some folks some time to come on into the room. So let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Hey, what going? How's your day? How's your day? Listen, as you know how we do it inside Freedom Wednesdays, please feel free to, when you come on in, let us know where you're from, let us know where you're logging in and where you're repping from. We're about to get started in a bit. Today was hectic. Big up yourself, you. Bless up yourself, man. Bless up yourself. I can't wait to come see you guys over in the ice box again, man. But in due season. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Listen, feel free to share the live and click that like button, man. So we can get some more people into the room as well. So as you guys know, it's Freedom Wednesdays, and you know what we do. You know how we do. We aim to inspire, to uplift, to rejuvenate, and to restore our youths, local and internationally. So yeah, God is good. Now tonight is a special night, and I'll tell you for more than one reason. So for the first time, we are actually streaming on YouTube as well as Instagram. So we're trying to branch out. So for those, so that those who, cause some persons don't have, what do you call it? Instagram. So if you don't have Instagram, you can always go over to YouTube and check us out on there as well. So there's a new segment inside Freedom Wednesdays, and it is called the question of the day. Now we put this at the beginning because we want everybody to be able to partake in it. So tonight's question of the day is, or question of the night is, do you think a spouse should share what they make, like the finances? Do you think that a man should tell his wife how much he gets for him pay, and a woman should tell her husband how much she gets for her pay? What y'all think on that? Hey Shari, what's up? Let me know what y'all think. You think you should share with your partner how much money you get? You know, how much you earn? What you think? Likewise on YouTube, yo, let's type in and let me know what y'all think as well on YouTube. God is a good God. Yeah. So tonight we have an amazing guest that's coming on. Chris said yes, transparency is key. Transparency is key in a relationship. Yep. That is true. Unless they don't have a good relationship, or it could be that you don't trust the person because you know they're going to bleed you dry. That could be it. I don't know. Definitely, there's no need for secrecy in a marriage. That's what I say. But you've got to, like, you've just got to know what it is that you are getting yourself into. so that you don't make that mistake. That's why it's important to walk in love, journey in love, and not just fall in love and hit your head and you know not paying attention to what's going on right in front of you. All right. So what about all right, so without any further ado, we're going to bring on. So, as you know, every single Wednesday night we have an amazing guest passing through, and we want to get him inside the room so we can start a conversation um, tonight. Now, listen, you know how we do it. Feel free to comment and let us know what you think. Chime in on the conversation as well, and let us know what you're thinking as well. If you have any questions, you can feel free to ask as well. So without any further ado, let me get him on in the room. Let's go. All right. Hey, brother, man.
Where are you?
What going, man?
I'm doing alright. I've never done one of these before you.
Oh, really?
No, I've never done a podcast.
See, this is what the pandemic does.
Yeah, it gets you out of your
I know, right?
zone. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You know, I consider myself extremely blessed. Monday I took my baby girl to school for the first time, so that was kind of scary.
Why was it scary? I know it's your show, but why was it scary?
It was scary because she spent the past almost 2 years with me. And so because I work from home, so I was the one juggling and stuff. And you know, we kind of developed this kind of bond. Look at Pari, Marudi. So to not have her, it's kind of bittersweet. I need the space and the time to work.
I know what you mean.
It had to happen, but you know, when the auntie took her from us and just waltzed off with her and we couldn't see her again, lock up the doors, I was like, but wait, I might pick you know. But you know, but it is what it is. She's doing well. So it's a good time. So how is your family, bro?
The family's good. Everybody's asleep. My daughter went to school for the first time today too, so she came home and she was knocked out.
Wow. See, that's the beauty, you know.
Yeah. So I was joking. Bless up, preacher. Preacher is my neighbor from back home in Jamesville.
Okay.
I was joking today on a post that I made that Kerry and I are day empty nesters.
That's interesting.
The family is good though. The family is great.
All right, lovely. Now let me ask, because what I found is that when the pandemic hit, everybody just kind of started scrambling to find their footing. How was it for you?
I think the pandemic, well, let me not say I need the pandemic. The pandemic, naturally, I'm an introvert.
Yeah.
So when people were struggling to find their footing, I actually was relaxing and thinking, yes, finally, I don't have to go out and be in all of these spaces. But in terms of, just focusing and realizing what really matters.
Yeah.
I think the pandemic has helped me to prioritize and chop off a lot of the busyness that I used to engage in. And I think now that the pandemic has somewhat decreased, we're still in it.
Yeah.
I'm so comfortable I don't even want to do anything. I have to push myself now to get out again.
Yeah.
And to do stuff. So I guess it has helped me to prioritize and to really prune life, to really just zoom in on what really matters.
Yeah.
So I think there has been some kind of blessing in the pandemic for me.
I'm a believer that that's very true in different ways because as you said that you're an introvert. Like when I used to tell my wife that I'll go on any stage and minister, whether it be 10 people or 10,000. But when I'm not one to take myself up and like, yo, I'm gonna do road today. No, I don't like crowds. And she cannot understand it like, but you perform in front of so much thousand people. I'm like, yes. But I tried it once. I stepped out of my comfort zone and tried it. I went to a concert. And every two step I make, there's somebody, yo, D Murphy, what? And I'm like, yo, I'm good, man, I'm good. What you doing here, so? What you mean? Yeah, I perform.
I tell people that I'm stuck in an extroverted world, and I do the job of an extrovert. Put out a lot of energy, but then when I'm finished, I just want to get back into my little corner and refuel. So I don't hate people. I don't mind crowds, but they are very much draining.
It can be.
Yeah.
Can very much be. And I've learned to appreciate the peace because oftentimes when you are in the public's eye or people see you as that, they pull from you so much that even when you're not in that capacity at the moment, they ask you, yo, you can MC this for me. Yo, you can do a little something for me, or sing a little song for me. And I'm like, bro, I'm not working. I'm just here to be like everybody else. But because of the gifts and the talent that you have, people tug at you because of that. And I find it to be something that is very challenging sometimes.
Yeah, I've had this conversation with my wife just this summer that I'm fully convinced that it's not necessarily me that people like, but it's the gifts I possess.
Yeah.
And this is how I'm convinced of it. I'm a guy that known to MC weddings.
Yeah.
I've never been invited to a wedding just to be there. And it became very frustrating this summer because I'm getting invited to all of these weddings to either sing or MC or to be the officiating pastor.
Yeah.
And I started telling people no. I'm like, I want to go to a wedding too and sit down and eat around the table with my wife and don't have to rush my meal. Or sometimes I go to weddings, I don't even get a meal. But I'm really saying no to some of these because I'm like, everybody wants something. It gets. I love serving, but there comes a time when I have to really just step back and realize that, hey, I need to sit down and be, entertained too. I need to enjoy a moment as well. So I say no to a lot, and I mean I'm brutally honest. I just tell them, listen, I can't MC your wedding right now because I don't think you would invite me to the wedding if you didn't want an MC. So forget it.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, my wife and I have had this, not an argument, but a heated discussion about spending that time with the person that you took to the wedding, not off trying to make sure the PA system is right, the mic is right, all these things. Because I tell people, when you are a performer, you have to it's psychologically there's so much going on that you want to make sure that's going right. So because what you hear does not just happen like this. There has to be preparation.
You're the showrunner, basically.
Exactly. So when you go to a wedding with your wife and she just want that lovey-dovey time, because wedding does that to people, that little reminiscing, romantic type of vibe. But when you got you have to be hauled off to go MC to make everybody feel good, she just wants you to make she feels good.
Right, and I mean Kerry is understanding in that way, but I've been thinking about it that no, she wants me to sit down there too. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of pushing back. And I mean, a few invitations that I've had, people are understanding.
Yeah.
And they say, I think I understand and I still want you to come. So yes, I'll go and sit down and let somebody else entertain me too. Why not?
That I and even as from the spiritual aspect of it, sometimes we pour out and we pour out and we pour out. And we need to be filled. We need to be rejuvenated and revived as well. And you said it well. Sometimes you have to say no. It is not the most popular thing to do. But sometimes for your own sanity, you have to say, you know what? Nah. Mm-mm. Because nobody will care about you if you don't care about yourself.
Absolutely.
Once they can get what they want, they'll always come to you. And once you will always say yes, they will always ask. But it's important to know and understand that you have to make that decision that now I know when I need to pause, I know when I need to push, and so let me be wise in this moment so I can make you feel good. But then when I go home, I'm dying inside. And that's not fair to me.
It's not a popular thing. It's not popular, but I'm learning to
Yeah.
say no and actually not feel bad about it.
I like that. I like that. So let me ask. I know that you're from Jamaica. You're a Jamaican born. Where in Jamaica you grew up?
I grew up in Clarendon. I don't know how much country you know.
Well, I'm a Kingstonian by birth, but
Okay.
I've been around, so.
I'm from James Hill in Clarendon.
Mhm.
Its closest town would be there's Maypen.
Mhm.
And then you come from Maypen to Pennance, Chapelton,
Mhm.
Bramfield.
Yeah.
So I'm within that
Vicinity.
that vicinity. So I grew up in James Hill, attended Edwin Allen High School.
Okay.
Because that was there's Claude McKay High School in the community where I'm from. But at the time when I did my what do you call it, common entrance examination,
Yeah.
I was placed at Edwin Allen High School. So that's where I did my high school years.
Okay.
So I grew up in the country, and I've lived in James Hill for I think 29 years.
Okay. So
Country boy.
we had a discussion some time ago on here that everywhere, us Kingstonians, for some reason we think everywhere outside of Kingston and St. Andrew is country. It's called country. So we had a huge debate on here about Mobay being a city, and we're like, oh, we don't know about that. Anything outside of Kingston are country.
If it's not Kingston, it's country. And I will fight you up on that one because I'm a country guy. Love it.
But I heard a conversation this morning on the radio about if they which one is better. I don't know if you come from country, so I'm gonna ask you. Aki by itself, there's no saltfish. Just when you run boat, you don't have all them ingredients and the fancy seasoning and all them stuff. I know aki and oil. If you got oil, I mean, if you're lucky to find some chicken fat or chicken skin, you fry that bad boy, and then you throw in your aki on that. But if you don't have that, then you grease the pan, and you throw in your aki alone. Throw some salt if you have that, black pepper, and you eat away. So there was a debate about whether or not aki by itself with chocho and seasoning cook up, which one tastes better. So let me ask you, which one you think, maybe even if you have not had it before, which one you think would probably work better?
Aki by itself, I don't think I've ever had aki by itself. Even if you have no fish, no saltfish, or
Yes.
fried pork, or whatever people choose to add to the aki dish, I'm thinking you will at least need some peppers and some um, tomatoes and some other
Seasoning.
natural seasoning, I can see that happening without the saltfish. So I can have that. But I don't think anything supersedes ackee with something. It's not only saltfish though. Because
Yeah.
I've had ackee and fried pork.
Oh, corn pork.
Like yeah, like this crispy kind of
Yeah. It's called corn
meat.
pork.
That thing is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing is good. And I know people have ackee with a variety of other, um, protein, but I've not tried them all. I know ackee and saltfish and ackee and fried pork.
And for me, Aki and I've done Aki and sausage. I've done Aki and salt mackerel and red herring
I can see ackee and red herring.
because of the
Yes.
saltiness. So it does kind of work. And surprisingly, Aki and Kalaloo together is a boss. Aki and pak chow.
For a country guy, I've never tried. Ackee and what? Chocho?
Pak chow.
Oh, pak chow. Yeah, I love pak chow.
So and more on a vegetarian side, but those I never knew it tasted so good until one day I tried it at a restaurant. It was a vegetarian dish with ackee and pak chow, and I'm like, yo, this is good.
I wouldn't be opposed to trying it, but I've never tried it myself.
But the funny thing is, when I was growing up, my grandma used to make she used to add a little saltfish to it, but she used to do the chocho. Slice the chochos thin with the tomato and sweet pepper and onion and scallion and thyme and all them wonderful things. And it tastes amazing, bro. For some reason. Like,
I bet your grandma grew up in the country.
I mean, it had to come from somewhere, eh? So while I don't claim it, as a first generation, countryman, it comes down the lineage.
Yep. That sounds like the good old culinary fun
Oh, yes,
fashion back in the days.
I tell people all the time that there's some gems and some wealth that if we had taken it from her grandparents and not see it as oh, I just want to look at something my grandma do. But like my grandma, she passed this year. Well, both my grandmas passed this year.
Mhm.
And
Sorry to hear about that.
yeah, appreciate it. And she used to make like guava jam, bro.
Yes.
Best I've ever tasted. But then
Yes.
nobody thought to say, you know what, grandma, teach me how to make this. So she died with that. She used to make castor oil, and castor oil is a big thing now, because she had clientele from all over Jamaica, U.S., England. People would actually call and say, listen, tell your grandma I'm ordering a flask or a 1 liter bottle or whatever of castor oil, and so they'll buy it in bulk from her, and then go
Right.
and repackage it and sell it. And when she passed, nobody took it up. And
It's like my grandaunt who used to make chocolate
yeah,
from the they have the cocoa beans that they would use,
yeah,
and she has a whole process. And I know of other elders who can make it, but I don't think anybody in the family
yeah, can do it like her.
has the ability. Yeah, my mom can make it, but my mom isn't as agile as she used to be.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure if I have everything, I can follow the process I used to see them do. Never tried it, but I'm sure a few trial and error would get me some good Christmas chocolate.
the funny thing is, I said to somebody the other day that I know, because we used to, get this. So there's a process with the whole castor oil and nut beating, and then you parch it and all them stuff to get the oil out. So It's called inut seed. So it's an inut tree, and the process can be a bit tedious. Now they have machines that they can just throw in the inut seed and then it presses it out into an oil, but that gives you um, the white castor oil. Um, the natural one is the darker one. That's much stronger. And so we find that we growing up, going through the process, we all saw it as a chore, as something that we had to do. And so the first chance we get to run away from it, we take foot because it just seemed like this is punishment.
Hard work.
That's it. But then it was such a value that if we had taken the time to say, you know what, these are the things that can change our generation from
Yes, that's true.
a generation of poverty to wealth. But
Yes, that's true.
sometimes we're not thinking that way. We're thinking about, boy, when I leave school, I'm gonna buy the Honda Civic and, get myself a nice girlfriend and, talk about house yet, So,
You live in a car.
but it is ridiculous how we do it. And let me ask, because you've been in Canada for a minute.
Yeah.
What is where young people are concerned? Like we know our culture here in Jamaica. What is it like in Canada with the young people, especially in the church? What is it? What is the temperature like during this pandemic or crawling out of this pandemic? What is the weather like in terms of, are the youth still interested in church? Are they still coming out in their numbers? Are they still committed?
Yeah, I think what I find, I wouldn't say that young people are not excited about Jesus. I do think they have an appetite for that, for Jesus, and an appetite for being involved in ministry. What I find though is that it's really challenging finding those ministries that are able to channel the ministry needs of young people these days.
Yeah.
I find in the Caribbean predominant churches that we've become traditional, and we have somehow held on to tradition, and we refuse to evolve. When I say evolve, I don't mean step away from the tenets of the faith. But there are many ways where young people need to feel that they're involved in ministry. They're not just there
Yeah.
existing, but they are involved. They are doing ministry. I find that young people want to go downtown and be innovative in taking care of the homeless, seniors, and all of that stuff. So I don't think they want to sit down and be consumers. They want to
Yeah.
be involved. And I think there's a lack of resources to meet those needs.
That's a powerful statement. Um, I find here in Jamaica, we one of the reasons why I created this live was because I realized we weren't seeing the young people coming out. We weren't seeing them coming out, and it 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 sort of kind of put me in a place where I'm like, all right, all the young people that used to come to church ritually, whether or not they were all the way interested, but they came because they had some place to go to. They had some friends at church that they could go to, and it got to a point where we couldn't go to church. Got to a point where Tanayard Baptist open, and then from Tanayard Baptist open, people take memberships, and so even when the church is now open, people prefer Tanayard Baptist than to come out to the sanctuary, because hey, I can wake up out of my bed or lay down in my bed, go up on my phone, and I'm at church. So,
Mm-hmm.
and with that, there's an opportunity to reach more in that. But then for those who are easily distracted, it's problematic.
Mm-hmm.
And so you find for a lot of our young people, they weren't really coming out. And so we wanted to use the platform that they visit regularly, to create a medium where, hey, listen, you can come, you can have conversation. And the funny thing is, we talk about everything. We talk about sex, we talk about church, we talk about boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, all these things. And it's surprising to me that, listen, so many persons um, speak their truth no
Mm-hmm.
matter what. And I find that to be such a blessing. It is such a
Yeah,
blessing for me.
I also noticed too that yeah, somebody is saying they hear an echo, and so am I. I can hear an echo.
Okay. Let me see.
The young people who attend the church I'm a part of, they are connected to some adult in the church.
Okay.
So they come to church because their moms are there or their grandmas are there. So I do believe some of these young people are at the moment being told that they need to be in church.
Yeah.
So we have to make certain that in presenting the Word of God, that they are falling in love with Jesus first, so that they will develop their own desire to want to be there. But I think when I talk about the programs and the resources that young people need to feel a part of, I think if they are having something that's attractive,
Yeah.
that allows them to minister and to be a part of their faith and practicing their faith, we can attract more.
That's true. That's true. I find sometimes you never know what somebody's going through unless you actually ask a question and be willing to actually listen for an answer from them. Because oftentimes we ask, but it's a casual thing to do to say, oh, what one? You all right? All right, look
And
more.
keep it pushing.
Yes, it's never like, no, really, like, how are you? Are you doing well? And stand and wait for a response. Because oftentimes it can become automated where people just, yeah, mom, I'm good, and shut it off. But
Mhm.
then you don't know if that person gonna take their life. You don't know if that person has suicidal tendency, or they're about to go make the worst decision of their life that will set them on a downward spiral. And so it's important sometimes. I know, busy. I mean, there are days when I have church, I have to leave church and go down the road or something, and I'm like, I okay, I know I have to leave, but then somebody, especially the young people, they have a question, or hey, I need help with this. So, and I'm like, all right, cool. You know what? Let me just take 5 minutes and hear them out. If it's something that I can help with right now, I'll help. If not, all right, take my number, call me, and we work it out.
Mhm.
That I
Mhm.
find is so important than just um, allowing them to feel shunned, especially to persons who they look up to. And who
Right.
oftentimes who they look up to is who they see on the platform,
Mhm.
on the TV screen, on who they hear on the radio. Those are who they look up to. And so I find it to be of it's important that we not shut people off, but to give a ear sometimes, no matter
Mhm.
how busy we are. Now let me ask, how did you get into radio? Let's start with that.
Okay, let's get back to 2009. I started at Love FM 2009, but before 2009, Love FM started 2 years before that. Let me explain. I was attending Ednaman College, drama school, and I was broke. You know what I mean? I had $0. $0, it's it. I was
and I never had shared quarters, so I lived by myself. And so I was in my room. The hostel manager kept putting all of these, oh God help Mr. Prince, he put all of these letters under my door that tuition was due. And I was in high school on literacy. But here I was now, not having any money at all. And I think it's one of those nights when I was in the deepest mode of depression
Yeah.
I could ever have experienced back then. This was about 2007. Yeah. And I remember turning off all the lights in my room,
Yeah.
and I was just there having a moment of self-pity because I had nobody else, nobody to turn to, had no money, tuition was due, I had assignments to do, it was close to Christmas, but I was obsessed with Nadine Blair's Jamaica expression.
Okay.
Expression.
Yeah.
That was the 6 o'clock program where she didn't talk.
She just
She
played.
just played music. And that was radio for me. Just give me the music and don't bother with the bag of talking. So I was obsessed with Jamaican expression. And it was one of those programs that showcased our Jamaican talent.
Yeah.
And I loved it because I envisioned myself being one of those artists one day.
Yeah.
And I remember listening to Jamaican expression. And before Nadine ended the segment, she shared an encouraging word. And I promise you, she was talking to me.
Yeah.
And the weight of depression shifted. And I got up and I turned on the light. And I started my assignments. And I said to myself, if radio has this impact, I've always had the ambition to do radio.
Yeah.
But now that it has impacted me in such a way, it revived in me that childhood ambition I had to do something about the dream that I've always had. So right then and there, I decided I would send an application to Love FM. I didn't send it at the same time, but I think sometime after I graduated, I sent it, and I graduated in 2007, and I sent an application to Love FM, got no response. I sent about 3.
Yeah.
I emailed one, I faxed one. I faxed it 2 times. I had my own fax machine, by the way. And I mailed one. And I did not hear back from them. No response. And September 6, 2009, I remember a lady came to our church who was visiting just to say she got a prophetic word for me.
Yes.
I'm like, I've heard these things so many times before. So I decided, all right, whatever this is, God, I'm going to accept it. And she said, God says he's going to open one door for you that will open all the rest.
Wow.
And this was like Sunday, September 6th, who reopened the 7th. And Murphy, the 7th, 24 hours didn't pass before my cell phone rang.
Yeah.
On the first day of school. And it was Colleen Beckles saying, you sent an application here some time ago wanting to be an announcer. Are you still interested? I mean, the lady came Sunday, prophesied that God said he's going to open one door that would open all the rest.
Yeah.
And here I am on the 7th of September talking to HR at Love FM, and as they say, the rest is history. I got the job, and I spent 2 years, almost 2 years at Love FM as a freelancer.
Wow. Listen, there is power in prophecy and believing what is prophesied.
Right.
because when you believe what's prophesied, it means that you will move and flow in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny, and I would encourage somebody that's on here watching that, or somebody that will watch. Listen, even if you're on the job hunt and it seems like nobody now call on your phone, you have send a resume after resume, please do not stop. Just trust the process.
Mhm.
That the right one has not come as yet. That's why you haven't gotten the call. It's either that or you're not in place that where you are supposed to be to receive what you're supposed to receive. Because sometimes we pray to God and say, God, boy, I want this and I want that, I want that. And then after 2 minutes, you walk gone over there. So when you ask God for it, God's ready, God send it on your way, you know. But then you move out of position. Instead of waiting and praising while you are waiting, you gone over to complaint street.
Mhm.
And so you miss your blessing and then you come back over to where the blessing was supposed to and see everybody blessing you and say, so God forget me. No, you weren't in position. You weren't in the place where you needed to be blessed. And so it's always important to be humble and be faithful to the process. Everything will
Yeah.
not happen like popcorn. Last week we spoke about the slingshot effect. Sometimes God is holding you back for a reason. So that
Yeah.
when He lets you go, you know, man, as you said, one thing catapult you into many.
To the other things. And one of the things I learned is that it's not your business to make your prophecy come true.
That's
It's
true.
it's not your prerogative how it comes through or when it comes through. In fact, when the prophecy came, I went on with my life as if the prophecy didn't come. I accepted it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, okay, God, if you said it, you will make it happen. And He proved that to me by allowing an application that was months old, if not over a year old,
Yeah.
to somehow resurface. And that was His way of saying, this is how I'm going to sanction the word that I sent the day before. And so I had zero doubt that that was 100% God sent. And the rest is just wonderful to talk about.
God is amazing. God is amazing. Listen, if you whether you're on Instagram or YouTube, listen to YouTube. Thank you guys for coming on. Your Inside Freedom Wednesdays. Listen, feel free to chime in. Let us know what you think about the conversation. If you have a question, please type it in the chat as well. So let me ask, because I saw you on TV hosting, bro. And I must say that I I am really proud of you, bro. It's one of those feelings where, cause I remember when we met in Canada,
Yep.
and we went. It was a late show.
Greetings to Brian Cuff.
Valiant, wagwan, bro.
What a wonderful title he's giving me. To see you, brother Julius, sir. Oh my Lord. Well, greetings, my brother. Greetings to you.
You see, that's the love on our one family, you know. Wherever y'all link up, you know.
Wait, so gather the truth.
I know. Don't be surprised if you see Nadim Blair come on here.
Yep.
But it is always a pleasure to see a fellow brother doing amazing, and I see you on TV, bro. Talk to me about that. Like how did that happen?
Oh man, that's a story in itself too. Remember the one door that opened all the others. When you were in Canada that time and I had you on my show, it was Reflections on Joy Radio. And when I hear you, Brian, when I came when I came to Canada in 2011,
Yeah.
remember yesterday was the 6th of September, and the 6th of September kind of gets my antennas up because I'm like, okay, Lord, you have something for me today.
Yeah.
So when I came, I my heart was broken when I left Love FM.
Yeah.
That was my dream job. It's the job I dreamed about um for many years. And now I got it and had to leave it. But then I remember coming to Canada, and when I was at the airport in Montego Bay, I said, Lord, I'm going to Canada. I don't know what to do. When I get there, please tell me what to do. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. And I want you to hear this good, because this is mind blowing.
Yeah.
And I was coming home from the airport. Carrie was in the car, the truck. Her father was the driver. And I said, do you guys know the Christian radio station here? And I know the question is the TV, but there's a process to get there.
Yeah, that's fine. Cool.
And she said, yeah, there's one named Joy that this guy that used to work there. He would MC concerts with Nick and all of them. But I don't think we could get it in the car that day. But I was coming home. I got to a section of the highway, and I looked to the right. There was a huge building with an illuminated cross. It's called Crossroads. And
I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you.
okay, good.
Yeah.
I don't know where I cut out. Yeah, somebody trying to call me. So I got to Burlington, looked to the right, saw this building with an illuminated cross.
Yeah.
It turns out to be Crossroads, the producers of 100 Huntley Street. And I said to Kerry in the car, I'm gonna work there, and forgot about it.
Yeah.
So I came home, talked to a pastor that I know, say, hey, I'm in Canada. He said, yo, there's a church in Hamilton you need to go to.
Yeah.
And that church, he told me the name of the church, went on the website, found the church's website, and it said, click here to hear pastor's sermon. When I clicked on that link, it brought me to joyradio.ca. And I was listening the night, and the dude that plays some Grace Chillers and some stuff, and feel nice. And so I sat up, tried to get a job there. The guy said he wasn't hiring. I talked my way in and convinced him to give me a job.
Yeah.
And I talked my way into working for free. And I started that job September 6th, 2011. Remember when the lady prophesied?
Yeah.
It was September 6, 2009. Now it's 2011, and I started that radio job in September of that year, September 6th. So here are 2 September 6s now, where God is showing me along the way, one door will open the other.
Yeah.
And I'm working here, and I'm not getting any money, because I'm working.
Yeah.
Monday to Friday, September to December, I'm going to Joy Radio every single night for free. I will take the bus from Hamilton to Aldershot. I will take the train from Aldershot to Oakville, and I take a cab from Oakville down to the radio station. And my wife's father, Joe, bless his little heart, he would come for me every single night.
Wow.
Joe would come for me. And I was there until the volunteerism turned into a paid opportunity where I could start at least financing my way to work. Now, how did I get on TV? I remember having said I'm gonna work there. And I was home one day when a church brother of mine named Donovan, He
Yeah.
said, "Hey, Junior, what are you doing today?" I'm like, "I'm not doing anything because I didn't work in the day. I only had this free job at night."
Yeah.
Um, and he said to me, "Hey, do you want to go with me to deliver something?" And I'm like, "Yeah, where to?" And I didn't know where it was going, but I went. It turned out to be a delivery in the building
Wow.
that I passed the night. And having walked into the building, I remembered what I had said, that I'm going to work there. And I think God would have allowed Donovan to call me that day to say, you know, remember what you had said. And when I got in that building, I came home, looked up that company online, and
Yeah.
applied for the job. I applied for what they called at the time a ministry care representative.
Yeah.
That means I worked in a prayer call center.
Okay.
Pick up the phone lines every night,
Yeah.
Crossroads prayer lines, how may I pray with you? And I prayed for people around the world, Monday to Saturday, sometimes on Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
There were days when I couldn't even remember my birthday. I work nights until I'm exhausted. Oh my God, those days. No, I'm talking about that. Yeah, and I got that job. And in that job interview, I had no experience for the job I was applying for.
Yeah.
But I kept talking about my stint on the radio, which apparently interested the people, that I was working in Christian radio and I was reaching thousands of people each night.
Yeah.
And I was ministering to people. So now I could transfer that ministry experience
Yeah.
to this job. Now this is God using one door to open
Open
the
another.
others.
Yep.
I'm now upstairs in the prayer center and I'm literally looking through a huge glass down into the television studio. And I'm saying, God knows I don't this.
I don't say you want to go.
God knows I don't this me want go. But me not have no connections, no
Yeah.
experience, no training, no qualification for doing this.
Yeah.
And I worked in that position for over 4 years. And I released my album Higher Ground in 2007.
Yeah.
A lot of my co-workers came. And one lady in particular would not give me a break. She said, try to see if you can sing that song Higher Ground on TV. And I'm saying to myself, there's no way they're going to
They're not gonna make you sing.
No, it not going to happen. And I was here, Terry was working in the day, and I was a stay-at-home dad.
Mm-hmm.
And people would think that dads don't have that. Listen, I saved us a lot of money on childcare.
Oh yeah.
A whole lot of money. In a work, because me never have no job. But I was daycare. And
Yes.
for those who are not in Canada or the USA, daycare money over here is like mortgage.
Yeah, man.
So I was taking care of that by staying home. So I would come home. Kerry would get home after 5-ish, and I'm gone by 6.
Yeah.
We're basically just meeting each other
Yeah. Hi, bye.
at the door and hi and bye. And to be honest, to her credit, we didn't argue about not having that time together.
Yeah.
I think we wanted that, but I think we knew at that time the sacrifices that needed to be made and the compromise.
Yeah.
And to her credit, we weathered that storm. And I remember being home one day with Arena, and it was heavy on my mind to call work to find out if they would have met me up on the TV, because the lady won't leave me alone. And I remember calling, and I said, hi, I'm Junior such and such, and I work upstairs in this department, and I just did an album, and I'm wondering if I could come and share. And the lady was nice, but the short answer was, they have a lot of music that they recorded over the years.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, them not really have any
Openings.
space right now for yeah. upset, you see. I said, God, how you tell me, say, call the people them. And the people them tell me no. And then in my mind I'm thinking, say ourselves make you call the people them. you call 90, make you call the people them and know you blame God.
Alright.
And less than 2 weeks, my manager called me and she said, hey, we need someone to do chapel. That's like work devotion.
Yeah.
We actually have devotion at work.
Yeah.
On a Thursday. Now I'm the one in charge of that. And I said I could come, but I don't have nobody to leave my daughter with. She said, bring her and I'll watch her.
Wow.
And I brought my daughter, went into the chapel, and I said to myself, Murphy, me nah sing nobody else song.
Alright.
I'm in line up with 2 soundtracks. I think I did Sovereign God and I did Higher Ground.
Yes.
And I used Sovereign God to start
Mm-hmm.
and Higher Ground to finish. We had just got a new CEO.
Yeah.
All we do is see this lady on TV. Never see her in person. We work in the same building, but all the people them on TV, you only see them on TV.
Yeah.
You don't see them when
Yes.
you're working at the office. Because we are for the office not there.
No, that's two different.
You understand? So, me now, in the chapel, and when me look at the chapel, guess unto me who walking?
CEO.
The CEO walking, Bridget.
Yes, man.
And she sit down at the back. And I realized she was engaged and she had this kind of look on her face and I'm like, Lord, God, a nonsense me talk. And I start getting intimidated and I sweat. And I'm like, what kind of foolishness me talk say? And this important woman coming in and now me gonna mess up. Me gonna mess me.
Yes.
Me know say me done for. And I did Higher Ground as my closing song. And I got a standing ovation.
Wow.
And everybody walked out except the CEO. And she pulled me aside and she said, that song knocked my socks off.
Wow.
I'm like, thank you. That time me just want to scream, you know. Kind of hold it in.
Yeah, hold it down.
Me hold it down. And then she said, we have a special program coming up in 2 weeks. Would you sing that song on television?
Look at God.
I tell you, say, are the same people them when me call, you know, and try to get. I don't know, me make up, you know. I tell you me experience.
Yes, man.
Me try and the lady tell me, say them couldn't accommodate me. And I don't think they were being negative. It's just that in the television world, they have a lot of content.
Yeah.
You have to get through. So me get it. So here comes the CEO and said the same song when me I try to get to the people them.
Yeah.
She want me to sing that. Virgin, between me and you, are the few people that will watch. the same woman will tell me say them couldn't accommodate the song and the one that emailed me to get me.
The soundtrack.
To get all of the paperwork and soundtrack and makeup and the same smaddy email me to get me.
Look at God, man.
And I remember when God reminded me, say, you remember when you do that first and I go on with your nonsense about how me make your call and the people them tell you, no, me make your call so you know, say, you can't pull no strings to yourself.
Alright.
When me tell you, say, me go do the thing,
Me, I go do it.
me go do the thing. And that is when things changed. Me walk in at the studio one time, Murphy.
Yeah.
Me walk in at the studio one time. After I go down there, me I look around and me say, Jesus Christ, me down here. Me say, yo, me down here so. A long time, me want down here so.
4 years.
And me say, after that, I went home. I came home after that television appearance. And I wrote an email to say thank you to her.
Yeah.
For giving me that opportunity. And she wrote back and she said, no, thank you. And in fact, God has told me that we need to get you a full-time job here. So let me know when you are ready to talk about it. After my wife about it, ready by a couple of my friend them. And I say, yo, me ready now.
You ready to know?
Me ready now. I'm write the lady and tell her, I say, me ready. Me ready now. The lady don't write me back.
What you do?
Me not get no response from the lady. And then the confusion set in. And all this time I'm studying full time, you know. I'm kind of leaving out a lot of story because it's too much. So, you know, I'm leaving out some of the details. But all this time I'm studying and I'm still working the radio job.
Yeah.
And I'm still doing this prayer center job thing. And I'm really loving it. It was exhausting.
Yeah.
But I was really growing and expanding. And I remember finishing my first year of my master's degree. And I said to my wife, babes, and I'm money. I don't no money for summer. So we need one to work.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we could get some extra hours of work to compensate for the you know,
Yeah,
the
shortage.
summer months,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not easy to live a foreign, you know, brother. It's possible enough, but it's not easy enough. Some people make it seem easy, or it's not impossible. But when you're marked by God, you don't need to market yourself.
Yeah.
And I always say that. That's a phrase borrowed from Priscilla Shire.
Mm-hmm.
When you're marked by God, you don't need to market yourself.
Yeah.
And here I am, trying now, reached out to my manager to say, hey, I'll take some additional shifts. And I'm here one day and I heard, you know, I got a message, an email from the CEO secretary that the CEO would like to meet with me. So I said, okay, good. My manager will talk to him, I'll get some extra hours and there. So she said she wants to meet with me, and good junior style. Me no dress for the job, but me have no dress for the job.
What you want? All right.
Yeah, so me dress up and me go meet. If me go meet the CEO, me dress up nicely. We want blazer, collared shirt.
Yes, man.
Walk in, and she said, there's a new opportunity. I was praying about it, and the Lord said, the Lord said, Junior Smith, so I have a job. Do you want it? Do you want the job? And I said, I want to know money. Maybe I want the job.
You've been waiting.
So, guy, so I said, yes, you know, but I know I want to scream. I come home and I tell Kerry, and I'm like, this thing just seems so absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
The job of a digital pastor was created. It matched my current qualifications, my experience, and I accepted the job. I was doing a master's in psychotherapy, switched my master's major into pastoral ministry.
Wow.
Here's another thing. I knew that I needed to be a pastor, but me tell God, say, me no want have nothing to do with church and people. So when I felt the need to go after I finished my undergrad, to go do a master's, I knew I should have done a master's of divinity for pastoral ministry. And I said, God, me and you, I'm going to do the master's. Me do the master's, and I'm going to do it now what I want. Do it in
Yeah.
I'm going to do it in a psychotherapy and do a few theology courses on the side. You know, if you kind of appease God a little bit, send not too much.
And ease your conscience too.
And ease my conscience, brother. So now me get this pastoral job, and I'm like, it don't make no sense me go finish a psychotherapy degree. So me switch the degree now to pastoral degree.
Yeah.
But to go back to your question, I'm telling you, I don't think I've ever answered a question this long.
But it's fine.
Forgive me.
No, man, you're good.
So now I've gone on television.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sweet, man. They say one time I go on the TV and I love it. And remember one night I did at work, I mean like to call this madcap take me, I mean call the security. Him did name John. He said, John, you can let me in the studio. Him said, sure, for sure. And then carry me downstairs. He said, just give me 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Me 20 minutes. And me say, me go in there, me sit down in every chair. Oh God, this funny.
No
Me
good.
sit down in brother, me sit down in every chair. Me sit down in a hosting chair. Me sit down in the guesting chair.
Try on the shoes then, man.
Brother, me sit down, man, and me look, me walk in front of the camera. You remember the scene in a Mrs. Doubtfire
Mm-hmm.
when he did a tribe fee animate the little animal them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, pretending like he's gonna do a better job than the boring guy.
Yes.
And that was me. So I was down there pretending, really pretending down there, and I was invited as the digital pastor now in my new role to promote the ministry and the prayer center, what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I remember being on television for the first time. Nervous, me downstairs cool.
Yes.
Down in a
Nice studio.
Cool. Them have the big camera. The guy tell me the name. I can't remember the name now. The one where them were over your head.
Yeah.
And then them have 1, 2, 3, 4 more of the huge television cameras, teleprompter, lights. It's a busy.
Yes.
You not see what one as the viewer, but it's a very, very busy, fast pace. Everything I move. I'm nervous. The show wasn't even pre-recorded. The show was live.
Live.
And I did my very best to represent my department. And I remember when I was finished, I met the CEO upstairs. She says, you have a presence, and I need to see you on television more often. And that's how it started. My job, I tell people, my job, to be fully transparent, I don't have a television job. I have, thank you, Brian, it's a Jim. Thank you. I have the opportunity and the privilege to be invited downstairs to host a national television show. It wasn't on my job description.
Yeah.
It isn't my job. My job is upstairs. But if for any reason at all they desire my support on any given day, whether it's a teaching or just a step in the host's chair, I consider it a privilege. It's not something I have ever been trained to do.
Yeah.
But when I step down there, it's one thing I'm very much sure of. I'm an expert at being myself. And I pride myself in authenticity. I don't try to be who I'm not.
Yeah.
I try to be the best me I can be. And so even though, television host and people will say all of this, I always like to clarify, my job description is not a television host. But in my role, because of the role I fulfill, I have those privileges to be on TV from time to time that I really consider to be a humbling opportunity. So that's my long answer to your short question.
Bro, there has been there's been so many nuggets in what you've said that speaks so much volume, and two, that can preach.
Yes.
I love the fact that you said that whatever it is that you're doing, one of the things that you do, because even though you weren't getting paid, to do the night
Yeah.
radio show and then to do the
Yeah.
prayer room, you still stayed faithful to each one of them.
Yeah. Mhm.
I think sometimes what we don't understand sometimes is that our process does not mean money.
Correct. And people make that mistake because I've been in the company of people who've said to me, "You're a madman. Come to Canada and work for nothing." But I know better. I knew better that for me, experience, networking, connection,
That's
and
it.
also remember that scripture that says, "You've been faithful in little." It's not only going to be for Judgment Day,
Uh-uh.
it is in our current reality.
Oh yeah.
And,
It's a
and,
principle.
and process. Yeah, I've paid my dues. And what people see now are those private struggles
Yeah.
that you are the second person may I tell publicly. I don't talk. I mean, for though Carrie knows, and some of my friends know, but it's not something that I talk about. So when people see me pop up on either their television
Yeah.
or on social media, um, I would hope that I don't come off as somebody who's boastful. I, I can't help how people see me, but that's not what I'm trying to portray. Honestly, it's God's favor on my life, and also I've learned through trial and error that when you are willing to do something for free,
Yeah.
God sees the purpose in it and he will make it into your mission. And I think that that's what I'm living. All of these added bonuses is just a matter of me. When Virgin, me I come home after me did I work at a radio station, and
Yeah.
we managed to buy a Buick LeSabre. It's I bought it from a 91-year-old lady named Rose. The day when me buy the car from Rose and I test drive the car stop a road because not even the aisle Rose not change. Rose sold the car because I hear that Rose is 91 and Rose is 91
Oh.
and Rose don't think say stop sign and them something there. It's fair. She's 91. She won't do what she want to. So she just drive through stop sign. She a go out. She a go out. Without stop sign for roads. So our children got concerned and then said, "No, you gotta come live with we. Sell the car."
Yeah.
So me buy the car for 2,000 something. Carrie with me. Carrie was pregnant with Arena. When she saw Carrie pregnant, she dropped the price.
Yeah.
So me get it feel like a cheaper. I may drive the little car now, got work. And now me have to pay insurance.
Yeah.
By this time, I don't have my own insurance yet. May I tell you all of my business
Yes, man.
anymore, I not tell nobody.
Freedom Wednesdays.
Right. So now me the have to carry for the insurance. So every month, me have to give him the money.
Yeah.
To
Keep
pay
starting
the
down.
insurance because now I don't have enough money to pay the insurance because car insurance is expensive too.
Mm-hmm.
So now I give Joe the money every month and he pays it, and I'm on his insurance for a few years while I build up
Your
my
credit.
driving
Yeah.
credit. And so I'm buying gas, and the little money I'm getting from the station is not a lot. And gas run out on the night in the winter, brother.
Oh Jesus.
I come home and Mississippi gas light come on. And me under the anointing and I say, well, me hear pastors testify. Say them car, I know Rose just a cut and go through. Say them car run out of gas and them pray and God carry them home and me say, yes, I feel me testimony. Which one is testimony? The car top a road.
Well, it's the pandemic like test, man. No.
Me say, brother, the car top a road for me. And me have to walk.
Wow.
Come home and say to Carrie, say, babes, you have any money? That time, brother, me shame, you know.
They know what's man.
Me feel a way and I say, yo, I'm near the husband and I have no money in a brother. But Kerry never make me feel. She never do anything to make me feel less of a man. But inside, it had killed me.
Yeah.
And I just crying and when it left me crying. I not like it. And she give me her credit card and me go down at the gas station.
I got started out.
And go buy some gas and walk go down the road. Of course, me buy one gas buckle. You know the orange color already?
Yeah.
Buckle.
Yeah.
And I walk go down the road and go put the, what's it? What's it, $15 worth of gas, all and everything. And I walk go down the road and put it in the car. And the car can't walk. So, when a man see me, you know,
Yes, man.
and it look like God have blessed me, they don't know the thing that the suffering because I think I got that from my father. It's not a good thing. My dad was a proud man, and before my daddy asked if you're not being dead first. And I'm learning that sometimes you have to ask for help. But
Yeah.
I mean, at least I carry me to the hospital and she never tell me no. So big up yourself, Carrie.
You know,